And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 309. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, we are going to be going over new details on Charlie Kirk's assassin. But before we go over all of the new details on Charlie Kirk's assassin, which will be the video that we do on this episode of the MSK show, Bob Loves Movies, or AKA Was It Good, which is, I'm pretty sure, his Twitter handle. He's not going to be here tonight, not because he didn't want to be or is there any problems between us. He has to get up very, very early the next day for work because, as you guys know, he is I think he does nursing throughout the week, or one of his jobs is where he has to work like 12, 14-hour shifts. So he said he couldn't come on tonight because he's just going to be waking up too early the next day as far as how late this show tonight would go. So Bob will be here next week, hopefully, but we always love Bob Loves Movies, or Was It Good, or whatever alias he chooses to go by. But I did have a get out of jail free card because I remember Verbal Riot was like, hey, just hit me up in a few weeks and I can come back. So Verbal Riot, you're essentially Bob Loves Movies. You're essentially a Spanish Mexican guy with adopted kids, and you date a black woman.
Hey, I've been worse.
But what's going on, man? How's it been?
It's been good, man. Outside of the crazy shit going on right now with everything, it's been a really crazy week, man. Because I'd say right before what happened with Charlie Kirk, it was tough being black on social media, man, because of what happened on that train with that girl getting stabbed in the neck, and you hate to see it, man, and. And the thing is, it's not good to let too much social media get into your head, because social media is not a good place. You know what I mean? Like, it's not good. It's not healthy for your mind. It's not good for your soul at all.
As we know now with Charlie Kirk's assassin, that's when you have too much social media,
yeah,
where it becomes your entire life and nothing else in life matters at all.
Well, I think we got to start asking ourselves now, how bad is it really? Like how, we always joke and say social media is not good for you, but I think it's time to do some study. Like, how bad is it real? Because I think social media is worse than we joke about.
I think TikTok goes along that too, because I think there was a study done on TikTok where the newer generation, which would be Gen Z, I guess mine's in grades would be called Gen X. That generation, the newest generation and our generation, they had said,
"Oh, I'm Gen X. I'm not. Gen X is old. We're the old dudes, man. You guys are like."
To be fair, I'm old too. I'm already done with life at this point.
You might be a millennial, I think.
Probably millennial. You're right. Yeah. Right. So they did a study, I think, on Gen Z, because a lot of them grew up with like TikTok and the whole notion of TikTok brain, as they say. Yeah. These kids, I'm not even kidding you guys. These kids literally, I can sort of factually tell you this because one of my best friend's moms has a daycare she runs. They can't even functionally concentrate on reading something unless it is basically scrolling on your phone. Like, if you can scroll on it, like you could scroll, they can do that. They'll know how to get to a video. They can hit a play in a video. But if we're talking about reading a piece of paper as like, hey, this is your math homework and it's 2 + 2 = whatever, 3 + 3, they're like, huh? This is how you know, at least for TikTok, that shit is ruining people's attention spans. Unless it's straight up scrolling down endlessly on your phone or your tablet or whatever fucking hell things people have nowadays, then their brains are getting deteriorated.
Backlog of like actual comic books that you haven't read, though? Don't you just read your scrolling stories, MSK?
I wish I could. I have too many comic books. As people know, I'm a comic book connoisseur. This past week,
man. I have long boxes of comics that I haven't even read yet, and
I have packages I haven't even opened yet.
Stuff from like the early 2000s and late 90s, like stuff I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet because I have so many of them. But
did you ever read Walt Simonson's Thor run? Because I just bought that in omnibus format.
I haven't actually. I was never a big Thor guy as far as like comics went. I had a few episodes, and ironically, actually, Thor was the first comic book I ever bought with my own money. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old, and this was like back in like '83 or something like that. But yeah, I went to like this 7-Eleven or some kind of drugstore and because that's the only place that sold comic books. Like we didn't have comic book stores back then. We had to go to like 7-Elevens and places like that to buy comics. And so yeah, Thor was like my very first comic.
Yeah, I have too much stuff from Thor. I have the Michael Straczynski run. I have the Jason Aaron run. I'll now have the Walter Simonson's run. I have the Omnibus Volume 1 of Thor's run. Man, I have too many. The newest thing I just bought that's my most expensive omnibus I just bought was the Batman by, well, let me see. Maybe I should get the name right. Batman by Neil Adams omnibus. It was printed in 2016. Hasn't had any reprints at all. That thing cost me like good $200. Like finding a good condition version of that book was like $300 minimum to $400. Insane.
That's crazy, man. I bargain hunt when I buy my omnibus, man. Like I usually buy my omnibuses at like Comic Cons because they usually have them for like a better price. Usually.
Yeah, usually do. Yeah.
You know, like if you go on a Sunday, you know, when they got to get rid of stuff, like they'll mark them down quite a bit. Because I was able to get my my giant size X-Men omnibus. I got that for $100. I think
that usually goes for like $200 because that's the first volume in Chris Claremont's X-Men, Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. Yeah, because so you have like the first 2 volumes of X-Men, but the first volume costs a lot of money because it has been reprinted, which is weird. Marvel recently reprinted Volume 2, but didn't reprint Volume 1. I'm sitting there going like, what?
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. And so when I saw that they actually had the collected copies of Chris Claremont's run, I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm buying this.
I'll be going to Frankensons this Wednesday, so hopefully I can get it.
Luckily, the guy who was selling the omnibuses, you know, we run into each other a lot at these cons, and so he did me a big favor by like putting it away for me because a lot of people like wanted to buy it, but you know, he was like, hey, I promised this guy, and yeah, he gave it to me for $100. I'm like, I'll take it.
That's honestly a steal because if people don't know, Chris Claremont's Uncanny X-Men run that started with Giant Size X-Men, which he had help with, but it was done by, I think it was Cockrum and good Lord, I forgot the guy's name. He was Lane Wein and Cockrum or some shit. That X-Men run, goddamn, each book is $200 plus. Some of the omnibus volumes in that run are so out of print that you might be paying $300 for it.
But dude, that was some of the best X-Men ever written, though, man. Like those runs were.
That's when he was also with Jim Lee too, right? Jim Lee.
Well, Jim Lee took over in the 90s.
Okay. Did you see they're gonna make that an omnibus coming up? It's gonna be the blue and gold omnibus for Mutant Genesis?
Oh yeah, absolutely, that's coming because you know what? Because they already have the Grant Morrison omnibus, and that was way after Jim Lee.
Yeah.
So
I know how X-Men omnibuses usually sell out pretty quickly. I already pre-ordered the Mutant Genesis blue and yellow. Not letting that get out of my hands.
Those are great runs actually. Jim Lee, man, he that was probably
peak Jim Lee, I would say, was right there.
That was him at his peak.
I think he had another peak when he did the art for Batman Hush. Because that was
you know what, man? I love Batman Hush. I know a lot of people shit on it for some reason, man. For me, it's one of my favorite runs of Batman.
You would have in a top 10 if you did a top 10 run of it.
You know, honestly, for me, it would definitely be in the top 10. Not in the top 5. But definitely in the top 10 of Batman stories.
Okay, so it's like a 7 or an 8.
Like 7, 8, you know, like up there kind of thing. But I loved Hush, man. I liked, you know, them introducing a new character, even though they kind of shit on that on the animated movie that they did.
That movie's an abomination.
That movie sucked, dude.
God. And then what the person said the day after it came out, they were like, well, people who already read the comic book knew who he was going to be. It's like,
so what?
Who cares? Like what? What?
So you fundamentally changed the ending of the story, like.
That's why you knew. That's why I think after that movie, I just couldn't. Like I think the DC animated movies overall were pretty good.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But the inkers, the ones that were really bad, were not like that. That Batman Hush one was. Oh my god, just. Oh, I just that's one of the most disrespectful ways to ever shit on something that Jim Lee did. I don't even know how. I don't think he even had any involvement.
I'll go a step further, man. I don't even think that was the worst one. I think the worst one was the Killing Joke.
You know why I think it's both good and bad is because if you disregard that filler with Barbara, it's actually a fine movie. It's completely
But that filler,
fine.
man, was hard to watch, dude.
It's
I was like,
just the fact that it's filler. It has no impact on the story. It does nothing for it. And it's just a waste of time. Just an
I'm like,
utter just shit show.
why is Batman banging Batgirl, dude? Like, it felt weird, man.
God, dude. Yeah, like, and then you see the gargoyle statue just watching them get it on. Just, and what's so crazy and disrespectful that Warner Brothers did with that movie is because you remember back then, dude, like they wanted to extend it to get into the theaters, but it's like most people who were consuming those DC animated movies were consuming them like on the internet and places, or they would always find a way to watch them on like streaming service or whatever. Like they didn't need to put it in theaters. If they literally just didn't have the Barbara, I to be this, watch The Killing Joke and skip the Barbara part. If you skip the Barbara part, it's actually a really good movie.
And you're probably right. I mean, it probably works a lot better, but
the voice acting is
that threw me
amazing.
off a lot. Man.
Yeah, God, it is so weird too because Barbara doesn't understand Batman's actual mission. She's questioning like, oh, but you will do this. It's like, why is she? How does she not know what he is at this point? This ain't she ain't some 16-year-old Batgirl. This is a Batgirl that's already in college and studying. Like, this is not a young kid, like she's actively trying to hurt him. It's like, what is going on? They got to factor in, was Bruce Timm is a fucking weirdo and his brain is Bruce Timm. When he made that quote, when that Batman animated series came out, I think earlier this year or last year, where he said literally word for word, Batman has no good villains. And I'm sitting there going like, this guy is just fucking retarded. He just literally lost his mind. He lost his brain.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy. Are you kidding me?
He literally said word for word, Batman doesn't have any good villains. Are you okay?
Batman is known for his Rose Gallery. Like, what is he talking about?
Like, it's Batman and Spider-Man that have the most iconic Rogues Gallery, and then it'll be like what? Superman, Flash, Fantastic Four,
I say after them would be Superman, and then after that, I don't know.
Would you put the Flash there? Flash's ones are pretty known.
You know what? Okay, yeah, no, that you're right. Flash does have, I mean, Boomerang.
And after that,
Captain
I would probably
Cold,
say X-Men. X-Men's are pretty legit.
Would I go X-Men after?
Because you have Magneto, Apocalypse, the Sentinels.
Yeah,
like Magneto and Apocalypse are pretty.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I would go X-Men. Actually, I would.
Oh, great! Even Gray read Chris Claremont's Uncanny X-Men run. I didn't know he was a comic book connoisseur. He was just a jar of mustard, honestly.
Yeah, what can I say, man? I dig the X-Men. You're also forgetting like the Blob. Like there's some iconic ones that
there's Sabretooth,
part of pop culture.
Like obviously there's a lot of.
Sure.
Oh no, yeah, no, there's a lot. I mean, Mystique.
Yeah.
I mean,
hell yeah.
I mean, oh yeah, X-Men is definitely.
You brought her around to Jennifer Lawrence. Like that makes no sense to me, but at the same time, it worked.
You knew cultural brain rot was setting in when that lady had said, "Why not we just change the X-Men to X-Women?" I feel like that was the moment that was like, because I felt like I wasn't paying attention to how the world had been changing, but when I heard that lady say that, I was literally going, "What the fuck?"
Dude, they ruined Marvel, man. Like it's crazy that they took a legacy, like, and not just Marvel. I mean, look what they did with Star Wars. Look what they did with. They just fucked all these franchises completely over, man. You have the two biggest brands in the world, the MCU and Lucasfilm, and somehow just destroyed it.
Then they're complaining. Then those people are complaining to Variety and Deadline and THR. We don't have any male fans anymore. It's like, yeah, you have the two biggest male brands in the world. How do you, first of all, just by thought alone, how do you not have more than enough male fans that you could ever dream of with Marvel and Star Wars? Man. Insane. Like, and they're actively going like, why don't we have any Gen Z males? Well, Gen Z males are a little bit more in the know because of the internet. They don't like seeing men getting talked down to by women. No, even women, nobody really likes that though, unless you're some ultra giga hard liberal progressive weirdo.
Right, but here's the thing: none of those people read comics or support these movies.
Yeah. We're at this point now where I was we did that video on the channel here on one of the episodes of this show, and I was like, why? Like, is Disney just stupid? What do you mean they don't know how to get more males? You have the biggest male franchises on the planet. What do you mean you don't know? And then they said they want to create new stuff. What do you mean create new stuff? Just make better stuff with these. What do you mean make new shit? Just make better shit here. What are you talking about?
Well, that's also why I think Doomsday is not going to do as well as people think it is. I think it's going to. I think people will show up, but it's not going. They're not going to hit $1 billion.
You don't think it's going to be the $2 billion that the other
No,
ones were?
it's not going to be Endgame or Infinity War. It's not going to be anywhere near that.
Okay.
I don't have the goodwill.
Mainly because dude, it's like I think they're spending $500 million to make it.
Good Lord.
So do you know what kind of how good it would have to do to make any kind of profit?
At least on the it would need like $2 billion just up front, right? You would at least need that, or maybe $2.5 billion around there.
It would need at least 1.5, at least just to like
break even, probably.
Break even, man. I mean, like,
so you're saying it needs to hit like Avatar numbers for it to be profitable,
dude. When you're spending $500 million, and by the way, $100 million of that is just Robert Downey Jr.'s paycheck.
That is true. That's true.
You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, that's
insane, man. Oh, and by the way, we're talking about base production. I didn't even mention like advertisement. So marketing, that's another $200 million.
So you're saying that this movie also
they're gonna have to go on location.
Oh, so reshoots, I say with everything, probably about $750.
What do you? Well, you could correct me if I'm wrong. Don't like now for movies. Isn't it true that the reshoots are baked into the contract of the movie, or that's still counted extra?
Well, no, it's on a per movie basis though. That's not the norm, you know.
Okay.
So I don't know what kind of deal they did with this, but either way, man. I mean,
700 million. Good Lord.
700 mil with marketing. Yeah, that's kind of like what you're looking at.
That's insane. That is crazy.
It's not smart. It's not. And I know what they're trying to do, man. They're trying to make it this giant spectacle where, you know, it's going to be a cast of like 200 people and, you know, people from the Fox X-Men and people from the Fox
Nostalgia bullshit.
They're trying to do all this bullshit. But here's the problem is, we already got that with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
like we already got that.
The story's going to be similar.
You could also say Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness attempted to do that too.
Multiverse of Madness, it's old now. It's boring.
Do you think at some point that nostalgia gimmick they're trying is also going to be not working either?
I honestly, I think the MCU's in trouble. I think they, you know, and so is Lucasfilm, because I mean, Grogu and Mando ain't going to do shit either. So, and that's really all they got going.
Do better. They don't have as bad a will with the actual like theater releases. I don't know. Star Wars still makes money off of most of the theaters.
What was the last Star Wars theater release?
Now I'm blanking if it was actually
the Skywalker movie. The Rise of Skywalker.
That was the last one, but now I'm kind of blanking if it was that or the Solo one. I think Solo was just.
Oh, wait, you might be right. It might be Solo, but dude, Solo came out when Endgame came out, I think.
Yeah, that was a pretty flop. They just haven't done movies in a long time. Where like Marvel kind of has this track record of kind of being. If Disney's got a shot, I think it's on that front instead of. I can't see Doomsday working out at that price, just going in. But
no,
maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right. I mean, it's not going to give them what they think is going to give them. And by the way, Solo came out in 2018, so that's the last time. That's the last time Lucasfilm had a theatrical release,
and it did not do good.
Yeah,
didn't do
like
shit.
That's the first Star Wars film to bomb at the box office, from what I remember.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. What's also interesting is just like with the Disney Star Wars trilogy, just like with the Jurassic World trilogy, the first movie peaked, then each movie, despite getting $1 billion, had lesser $1 billion. So it was like $1.7 billion. Then the next one would be like $1.4 billion. You see, it's just constant diminishing returns. Even with the newest Jurassic Park movie, I thought that was going to be $1 billion movie based on the previous ones, even with the diminishing returns. And it looks like that one's only going to be pulling in $900 million, maybe by the end of its run. That's crazy. At this point now, it's just diminishing returns for like a lot of.
You know what though? It's crazy, but it still did better than Superman and Fantastic Four.
Warner Brothers would have loved if Superman did $900 million worldwide. They would have loved that. And I like Superman. I did, barring a lot of the issues I have with it. But for the studio to lie and say it made money, it's like, come on, dude. Like, we could just be but I forget they can't say that. They can't just be like, hey, our movie just fucking failed completely. And then James Gunn was like, yeah, people are overreacting. It doesn't need to make $600 million. Can you prove that? No, just source. Trust me, bro. Just trust me. I would never lie to you guys. Even though he had said that movies would never be greenlit until they have a script done. And then before that happens, Man of Tomorrow gets announced. And then the day after Man of Tomorrow gets announced, he says, oh, yeah, the script is complete. But he said movies are not going to be greenlit until the scripts are done. It's like, what the hell? I trusted this guy. God damn. A white man lying to me? I just can't want to, don't want to live in a world like that. Good Lord.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of hope for Disney right now. But then again, I don't have a lot of hope for any studio right now.
Oh yeah. All right. So we're gonna get into the video right now for a lot of you guys. Oh, there's gonna be so much. Oh, I just love shitting on people. As you guys know here, I am a filthy, rich genius, honestly. Like, it's just insane.
Those last two.
What do you mean?
You could have just stopped at filthy.
I'm a hot, rich, good-looking man. What are you talking about?
Those are good affirmations.
Oh my God! Verbal Riot. You're about to be here to hit like to build me up. Actually, gosh. Are you gonna go to the? Are you gonna go to the F&T meetup for 2026 next year?
That's the plan, man. Because I went to the one before.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to the one this past year, but I should be there next year.
Yeah, it was I and you can confirm because you met me before that I'm a white black guy. And I was, all the ladies were talking to me. I was rizzing up all the ladies. Remember? Took all of them home.
It was a good time.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It was a mixed time for me because a lot of crazy shit happened. So
God, like Chris ended up getting hurt the next day. I was like, what is going on? What's going on here?
Like Chris had a stroke, and then we spent the whole day at the hospital.
Yeah, imagine that, going out for like a vacation kind of thing and spending the entire day in the hospital. Fucking hell.
In Vegas, no less. Right? So
God, but probably a bunch of people coming in there. Oh, I was drunk this past night, puking up their fucking guts on the floor and shit. Good Lord.
Oh, dude, and you see crazy shit in Vegas, man. Like, even at a Vegas hospital, right? Because we're sitting there, while Chris is getting looked at by the doctors. And we see these girls come in who are obviously hookers, dude. and one of them was holding her eye, and I'm like, oh no, dude, did this hooker get beat up, dude? Like,
oh no.
And it was like 3 or 4 of them, and I'm like, yeah, we're in Vegas.
You're probably like, thought lives don't matter. Good Lord.
I'm like, we are definitely in Vegas, man.
All right, let's have some fun here, boys. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Charlie Kirk and the new details on Charlie Kirk's assassin. So, as you guys know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated at the Utah University on September 10th, 2025 by Tyler Robinson. Charlie Kirk, who was a father, a Christian, a husband, built Turning Point USA with the mission of bringing more people to Jesus Christ and having them go to church. And he ended up having this big impact with a lot of people. And his impact has resonated throughout the world, whether it be from people that absolutely hated his guts or people that obviously love him. And, it's been really interesting to see how everything unfolds. And people have asked me, they're like, hey, MSK, why haven't you did a usual video about this? Well, 2 reasons why. The first one is usually when it comes to situations like these, I like to let them unfold a lot more. That way you can kind of operate with a lot more information than currently what is there. And then the second thing I wanted to bring up was, I wanted to kind of rest a little bit on my thoughts on this before I just made a video like other people did. Now, if other people want to make Charlie Kirk videos, that's fine. For me, and what people like from us and anyone that I have on these videos, they like when we're able to kind of get all of our thoughts out from all of the information that we, have currently available. And the thing here that I just absolutely 100% despise about this whole situation, not even like right or left people or just people who didn't like him versus what they did like about him and anything like that. It was there were people that actively had said, like, there were videos of this where people were like, man, you know what? We got Charlie Kirk. Now let's go get his wife. First of all, what did she do? Like, as far as me watching Charlie Kirk, because I watched him since like 2022, 2023, whatever. He's never had his wife front and center. I'll be honest here. I didn't even know what she looked like. I didn't know her name. I didn't know she had a Twitter account. I'll be honest here. Like, what did she do to make you guys want her gone too? Like, she's done nothing.
You do ignore most women, so that kind of makes sense that you didn't know anything about her.
And that's why my life is great right now.
He's made it kind of front and center that, she's a huge part of his life. So I think it's just, that whole erasing of everything for some reason, just apparently must snuff it all out.
We also have to remember, too, we're dealing with crazy people, man. I mean, these are people who are not sane.
For sure.
They're and the problem is that they've had a very good long run of having politicians and the media back their crazy. You know what I mean? So they, whether we like it or not, for a few years now, they were winning, right? And now that Trump gets in office, they realize that, shit, we are out of luck, right? Yeah. We are no longer winning, and now they're even crazier. Now they're dangerously crazy.
And I've mentioned this, in my DC Comics video that I did on my comic book channel about that Gretchen Felker Martin person, where he said those disgusting things about Charlie Kirk after he was just assassinated. And this is the same logic that they told us when Gina Carano was fired from Disney. This was the logic. This was what they said. And this was the mindset and the logic behind it. Disney is a private company. They can do whatever they want. Okay. Right. Even though, let's just say I disagree with that or agree with that. It's neither here nor there. Then when that happens to them, they go, but you guys say your first free speech. No. You told me these companies can do whatever they want and get rid of whoever they want based off of the other concept you guys told me, which was you're just facing the consequences of your own actions. Okay, now when the shoe's on the other foot, you cry wolf. I thought you guys said these companies were all private and they could do whatever they want, even though I would know if you had a job, they can't do that. No private companies above any of the laws. That's literally not a thing. But let's just humor that for a second. When you go through that, you're like, what? I got fired for saying things. But we wanted, I'm saying that's why I had said, no, the company shouldn't do that. They should give you kind of like a warning, be like, don't do that again. We'll give you one warning. No, you guys kept saying, get rid of them immediately. Yeah, you don't even get warnings. You just get fucking terminated.
Well, it was the rules for thee, but not for me, right?
Right.
It was it was fine as long as it was happening to us, right? It was totally fine then. And look, these people are disingenuous, man, and they're always going to fight in a very disingenuous way. At the end of the day, though, the thing that really bugs me about this, man, I'll be honest, it's not even the crazies. Yeah, and it's not even fully the politicians, even though I'll get to them later.
Yeah,
my war right now, the people who I want to suffer more than anybody is the media, is the mainstream media. They need to fucking go. CNN, MSNBC, all of them just need to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't shed a tear if they all were unemployed.
I just want to bring this up before we go into the stuff that I set up for this video, and I have all the receipts and everything here. So when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and I saw the fire away shot first, and so I thought he got hit in the chest. I was like, fuck, he got hit in the chest. He might not be able to live. But then I saw because someone that knew I liked Charlie Kirk, so they sent me the graphic one. I was like, nah, he's done. Once I saw the graphic one,
I wish I never saw that one.
That video, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, usually stuff on the internet doesn't live this rent-free in my head, but after seeing him hit like that, it's just been so hard to get that shit out of my mind. And after I saw that, I was like, wow, he's dead. And then when they announced he was dead, I was like, it's not surprising. He got popped through the neck. And they had even said the top surgeons in the world, even if they were right there at that exact moment, couldn't have saved him. So,
can't do it, man. I mean, it hit a main artery, dude. Like, it was.
And, even if he magically did survive, I imagine he was going to be fucked up for his entire life anyway, which is like, that might be a fate worse than death, honestly, having to live like that. So that day, there was an MSNBC guy that had been there for a long time. He had said the game plan that I had been talking about for a long time. Basically, kind of like when Joe Biden was like, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. He gave the game away and he got fired for it, which is crazy because that means you knew that the backlash this person got was so immense. MSNBC was like, nah, we got to get rid of you, which is like, okay. All of a sudden now you want to get rid of people like that who say disgusting things like that. But what he had said basically was Charlie Kirk kind of had it coming to him because he basically, it's like he gave the whole poking the bear analogy, but the poking the bear analogy doesn't really work because these are the same people that, say the lines of like, it goes into like, hey, a rapist would say, hey, this girl deserved it because she was wearing like this kind of dress and this kind of skirt. So when people say that kind of logic, you know, in that argument, you would agree with the grapists, right? Because grapists say that. They say that girl deserved it because of what she wore. So did Charlie Kirk deserve to be publicly assassinated for just speaking to people?
Well, and by the way, the reporter was Matthew Dowd. That's who got fired.
Yeah. And what he had said, I mean, he basically gave the game plan away. If you talk about your opinions and people disagree with them, or you promote like hate speech, what the fuck that's even supposed to mean anymore, then you potentially could be assaulted. So if someone just talks about things and you talk back to them and you both kind of like agree to disagree, which happened a lot with Charlie Kirk's debates, some people came up to and agree with him, some people disagree with him, but it was fine. It was openly fine, right? So it was like, you should be never assaulted for just speech or publicly assassinated.
I think that whole firing of Matthew Dowd, it was a smokescreen, man. I think we got played on that. I think honestly they probably wanted to get rid of that guy for a while, and they finally just had an excuse to get rid of him. Because my problem is most of them were talking shit, but only one person got fired. All of them has said shit like that about Charlie Kirk, right? Yeah. But they got rid of him because it was easy to get rid of him, right? See that's why I don't buy any of this, man.
Yeah, and it's also one of these things at this point now where I'm actually glad he said that because it gave away the plan. They honestly think if you talk to people and have open conversation and dialogue, and if you don't say what they think or you spout bigotry like they always call it, then you should just be hurt. That should cause you to get hurt just by having a conversation.
No, they actually believe that.
Insane. That is insane. And people are going to be like, MSK, show me the receipts. Okay, we're going to go over to all the stuff that's receipts now. So I have to chronicle. We're going to go between that. Then we're going to go to the assassin. Then we're going to go to the Discord stuff and the Looney Tune stuff. Okay, so people don't believe me. I will show you right here what this person said. So hold on. I probably should. No, there's no need for audio. There's a quote here. So this is what he said. You can't stop with these awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and then not expect awful action to take place. He's basically doing that thing they do in gangster movies. So if you dated a gangster's like sister, oh God, if you broke her heart, it would be a shame if you ended up somewhere in a dumpster. That's literally what that is. That's literally verbatim what that is. You can't have speech where they perceive it as bigotry or transphobic or homophobic or all those other fucking words they like to use. And if you use any of that stuff, you should expect awful action to take place. I'm happy he said this because it just tells you what they think. You can't speak in a way that they deem harmful because I've been hearing about this term a lot. Awful rhetoric. It's not awful rhetoric, in their opinion, to call people Nazis and fascists 10 years straight. Nancy Pelosi went on I think it was a Fox News press conference, and she was like, well, when we were calling them that, we didn't intend for anybody to actually go harm anybody. So just basically just no accountability at all. That's what we do now, apparently, in life. Absolutely just insane. So then it came out that Charlie Kirk's assassin lived with transgendered partner who is now cooperating with FBI officials. Tyler Robinson's transgender partner is being extremely cooperative with the FBI, sources tell Fox News. So this is the guy that killed him. Apparently he was living with this person was a gay person, which is fine. People say, if you're gay, that's fine. I don't care if you're gay. But it doesn't surprise me that the person that killed him had a Looney Tune boyfriend. Doesn't surprise me at all. Like, does it surprise any of you guys? Doesn't surprise me, honestly. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin lived with transgendered partner. Senior level FBI officials told Fox News Digital. FBI officials confirmed that Tyler Robinson's 2022 was in a romantic relationship with an unnamed person who is a male transitioning to a female, which you can't do. You literally can't do that. Despite what they say you can do, you cannot do that. And that they shared an apartment in St. George, Utah. Those FBI officials told Fox News Digital that Robinson's partner is fully cooperating with the FBI's investigation. One FBI official told Fox News Digital the individual has been extremely cooperative and said the person had no idea. I don't know about that. I don't really believe that one. I'm pretty sure this person definitely knew. Robinson was allegedly planning to assassinate the Turning Point USA founder. The person is not currently accused of any criminal activity in connection with the assassination. FBI officials told Fox News Digital that the FBI had text messages and other communications between Robinson and his partner that helped FBI agents zero in on Robinson. Officials said the FBI the FBI took evidence from their apartment, including computers, which has been sent to Quantico for review. Fox News Digital has learned the FBI declined to comment on whether Robinson's partner would be charged with the crime. The FBI is investigating a record number of tips. An FBI spokesperson said every connection, every group, every link will be investigated, and anyone involved in this matter anywhere in the world they might be will be brought to justice. The apartment Robinson and his partner shared is in the same southern Utah community Robinson's parents live. It is approximately 4 hours away from Utah Valley University, where Robinson allegedly shot Kirk. Kirk was killed Wednesday as he spoke to a crowd at the school's campus in Orem. Authorities believed a single shot was fired from the roof of a building some 20 yards away. Kirk was 31 and the married father of 2 young children. And this was the conversation he had with the last person that he ever debated, and it was on troon mass shooters and gang violence. What a fucking way to go out. Moments before Robinson allegedly shot Kirk, an audience member asked Kirk, "Do you know how many transgendered Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?" Kirk replied, "Too many," which is true. I know people want to take that quote out of context where he talked about like that other mass shooting where kids got hurt. Just let me point out to you guys, just a very simple line of logic. Guns will help save lives, but then when stupid motherfuckers get guns, bad will happen. It's like when Chris Tucker said that line, I think in Rush Hour or Money Talks, stupid motherfuckers with guns kill people. Yeah, there are people, like, guns will absolutely save lives, but then there's some stupid people out there that are going to ruin it for everybody, you know? Like, I know people said, but Charlie advocated for less gun control. I mean,
gun control doesn't mean shit, though, man. When you're dealing with criminals, man, you think criminals register their guns?
I'm glad you brought that up.
I think this one was a registered gun, but every single bit of gun control that's been proposed, none of it would apply to a bolt-action rifle, which is what this is.
Right.
Like, no matter what, any highly, whatever they're talking about, where they're getting rid of like any one of these assault weapons, or I can't remember the exact, what was it, fully semi-automatic weapons that Biden was saying. Yeah. But either way, none of that applies to a bolt action, which just really kind of sucks. Dude, there's nothing that would have stopped this.
And my conspiracy theory is, I don't even think this guy is the one who did it, man.
I thought the same thing too. I thought the same thing.
I only say that because, dude, to make the shot that he made, and looking at that guy they got, he does not look like that kind of marksman, man.
I initially thought that he was
like Utah,
guy,
though.
But
apparently, like, he goes hunting with his family quite a bit, and they're pretty into guns. I don't know, man.
So the other thing I wanted to bring up was just that point you guys have brought up. So I just want to point out to people, how did advocating for all this gun control help anyone? And how did it help Charlie Kirk? Advocating for more gun control does nothing. Gangs, guys, can get guns. These gangs can have access to people that can give it to them without having them being registered. All this gun control bullshit that people want to say, but Europe doesn't have gun violence like this. Europe has a bunch of stabbing, so it's kind of a net negative anyway. It's a double-edged sword. You take away all the guns, people are going to start stabbing each other, or they're going to have arrows. Doesn't matter. Just not a tangent.
Also, Europe is a shithole right now, so let's not bring up Europe. The UK
also,
is
let's not take anything from them. But people want to use the Europe argument. Europe banned all their guns for the most part, and a bunch of people just started using knives. So it's been net negative anyway. Like, more gun control wasn't going to help Charlie Kirk anyway. That guy was going to get access to that gun, whether or not more gun control or less gun control existed anyway. Let's stop pretending that was going to be not the case. He was going to have that gun no matter what. He had connections to someone, obviously. Fucking people are so retarded. Jesus Christ. Kirk replied, counting or not counting gang violence. Yes. Then he was assassinated. A law enforcement source told Fox News Digital that Robinson's father, who ultimately turned him into authorities, told the FBI that he recognized his son from surveillance video images, which FBI Director Kash Patel directed to be made public as the 33-hour manhunt unfolded. The source told Fox News Digital that when Robinson arrived at his father's home, he said he wanted to kill off himself. The source told Fox News Digital that the father spoke with a minister the family knew before turning in his son. Meanwhile, the rifle that the FBI believes was used to kill Kirk contained ammunition inscribed with anti-fascist messaging. Utah Governor Spencer Fox confirmed the messaging at a news conference Friday, saying investigators discovered inscriptions on casings with a bolt action rifle near the campus. Yeah, and if you read what was engraved on that, and if you think this person was a right-winger, you are insane. Now, I'm not saying that there's not extremes on both sides. People keep misinterpreting my words about that. There are extreme right-wing people, and there are extreme left-wing people. Both sides are not innocent. But I will say this. Left-wing people are extremely more violent when it comes to things like this. Oh, let's give you two examples here. George Floyd was killed by Derek Chauvin, right? And people cost $2 billion worth of damage. Riots everywhere. You know what happened when Charlie Kirk died? People started praying, going back to church, talking about Jesus and stuff like that. They're not the same. If you think they're the same, you're such a mentally retarded idiot. I can't possibly have a conversation with you. I'm not saying.
Why don't you go off of like an actual single person as well? So there was just a senator that was killed, and that was killed by somebody who is a right-wing person.
I forgot
there wasn't exactly riots
Shapiro, right?
after that.
Well, Shapiro, right? Yeah,
I'm just saying it's.
I was just giving.
I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like a one-for-one. You're right. You could use that example of a really horrible riot.
Ones, you know, I'm just pointing those out. So Matt Walsh had this tweet where he said Charlie Kirk's assassin had a troon boyfriend, called Charlie a fascist, confirmed leftist by friends and family, confirmed leftist by top officials on the record, including the governor, killed one of the most iconic conservatives in the country. And yet leftists will still claim he's right-wing. These people have no shame, no integrity, no honor, vile and repugnant to their core. Okay.
But the information that you're like lauding right now, isn't it coming from the same people that you were mocking like 2 weeks ago with the Epstein files, saying they're not releasing the actual information? I don't know. How could you trust them now, but you didn't trust them like 2 weeks ago?
I mean, I had criticized Donald Trump for the Epstein files. I think he had been very, very dishonest with those. Like I said, I didn't like the way he
brought up like Kash Patel in that too. Wasn't
for sure.
he the?
Yeah. I think I brought him up. I think I brought him. I don't remember, honestly. Maybe I did. I'm saying I didn't. I just don't remember.
I just don't know if I trust anything that's coming out of any of these things.
So what do you think? I'll ask you. What do you think?
I have no clue, man. I originally heard the thing of everything that was inscribed on the bullets, and then the next story I heard was actually that was all fake. Those weren't actually in there. That was just a hoax. And then now they're confirming it again. So I don't know, man. That seems a little fishy to me. But again, if you wanted to be very memey and shit, like that's what a lot of those, like what is it? Looks at bulges and oh whoa or whatever. There's some of those on there that I don't know, but there's some anti-fascist deep cuts on there too. The like Ciao Bella thing. So
yeah,
I most likely it's left.
That. I was gonna say I agree with that. I think there's a lot of there's too much misinformation. So like, and that's why I haven't done, I haven't really done a video on this. I did a video Friday about the speech that Erica Kirk gave, Charlie's wife. I did a video about that. But other than that, I haven't done like a deep dive video because I feel like there's still too much weird information out there and we're not getting the full truth yet.
Yes. And I don't want to let people know this as well. When you look at the situation, you have to kind of understand that there's so many sides on this, But I will say that anyone, I would just say this right now. This I think we can all can agree on. If you're a doctor, teacher, daycare worker, let me correct that. If you're a doctor, healthcare official, daycare worker, school teacher, or a public transport person, firefighter, police officer, if any of you guys out there are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, yeah, that's unacceptable. You cannot, imagine this. If a healthcare person, like a doctor, knew you like were a conservative, fuck, hey, would they treat you with care if you were like hurt the same way? Like, I don't want to ever live in that kind of world. Like a healthcare person could be like, nah, I'm a doctor, but you voted conservative, so fuck you. I'm just gonna let you die. Seems that's a little bit like, come on, you gotta draw a line somewhere,
Right.
Like it's been so gross seeing that, honestly. Sorry, that was not supposed to be there. All right, so here's the next part of this. So also Kash Patel just went on Fox News as we're doing this video, and there was another part of this that basically went that Tyler had thought that you couldn't reason with hatred that Charlie Kirk was spreading. Just, oh my God, my brain is fried. And this is the other problem that the media espouses constantly, whether it's CNN, MSNBC, Fox, anything, right? People confuse basic disagreement with hatred. That's what Kash Patel had said, right? He had said Tyler had mentioned that he couldn't reason with Charlie because the hatred was too much. It's like, so someone disagreeing with you is hatred now? Is that how disagreements are now? We'll use the waffle pancake one. So if I say I like waffles are better than pancakes, don't at me, bro. So if Verbal likes pancakes more, do I just hate Verbal now because he likes pancakes more? Is that a horrible dialogue it's gotten? People hate each other just for a simple disagreement? Is that it? Really? That's how far things have gotten? This happens in movies. This happens in TV now. This happens in anime. This happens in comic books. Everything. When did this happen? I just disagree with you. No, but I must hate you now. What the fuck?
It's a little further than that. You're simplifying it a bit. I'm not saying I believe this at all, but if what they're saying is true, that he was in this relationship with this trans woman, that's kind of two things that Charlie Kirk was against, was not only the homosexuality, but it seems like his kind of go-to was God had a perfect law, and it's in Leviticus. I can't remember. I think it's 2013 or whatever, but it basically says like gays should be stoned. And then there's, his whole thing of basically saying like trans isn't real. I'm not saying that is worth any sort of violence or anything like that. They are words, but it's something more than just I like waffles. It is kind of saying, hey, this person that you love doesn't truly exist.
But is that wrong though?
It seems to go beyond that, and you should be put to death.
But is that
by this
wrong,
perfect law of God?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Look, here's the thing, man. I'm sorry, but and I guess this is where the Gen X in me comes out, because people are soft now, man. They are just fucking soft. People are deleting themselves. I guess we have to see on YouTube, but all these weird, all these weird things, right? Just because someone said mean words to them, right? Mean words, right? Like you're gonna go there and you're gonna take out a guy who's a family man because of mean words.
Like he didn't commit any actual crime. He just
had the cardinal sin
of words.
Well, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like any of this is justified or this is reason or anything like that. I'm just trying to say it's not just simply I like waffles, you like pancakes,
no, it's not. But
MSK was trying to put it.
Even if you said the worst of worst things, it doesn't justify anything.
No, nothing does. Words don't justify
and
violence.
These people need to understand that.
Also, I want to add on to Gray's point that he just brought up, which is a very good one too. Like if I just said that waffles and pancake analogy, you could apply that to this case as well. So like if you tell someone that men are men and women are women, if they're so beyond deranged that they think that means they're gonna that they can lose all their Looney Tune friends and that person should be assassinated, that person needs to be put in a fucking psych ward. That is mentally deranged level thinking. That you can tell someone
is an extreme overreaction to a
that you can just tell someone an objective fact, their sex. If you don't want to use gender, sure, let's just use sex. There's male, female, XY,
but why?
XX
They're
chromosomes.
talking about gender. They're not talking about sex. That would be
but that
muddying.
person can't change their sex. That person, even if this person was,
I don't think they're even claiming that they could, though. I think they're only talking about gender.
Some of them do, man. There are a lot of them, like, who are, like, let's say trans women who claim that they are female, which is a sex thing, right? So
yeah, that's obviously delusional.
That's how disillusioned they are.
Yeah,
they're claiming that they're female.
Yeah, and this is so weird how people conflate the two. If I tell you that let's just say there's two genders, men and women, and someone goes, I must need to kill you. That means you are deranged. You are insane. Someone could tell you like an objective fact that there's literally only two sexes, and then someone takes that in their brain and go, yeah, because that other person, Gretchen Felker Martin person that DC fired the same day that Charlie Kirk got assassinated. That person said in a quote to Comics Journal, the very last part, because I just did the video last night before doing this one, where he had said he had felt that Charlie Kirk was spouting bigotry that was eventually going to lead to him and his friends being all killed. These people have such a victim complex that they think that anyone that talks and disagrees with them, that they're all going to be eradicated off this earth. Just that is insane.
Even if so, you can't do precog murder, like, because someday down the road this could lead to murder of me. I must now murder you. Like that doesn't work. You still have to actually wait until the threat is presented.
And that's how these people they themselves have been radicalized to think that everyone that doesn't agree with their disgusting, weird ideology is somehow out to get them and kill them. No, I just disagree with you. I don't want you dead. Also, statistically speaking, these people are going to off themselves anyway, but that's another discussion for another day. Tyler Robinson had a rabid obsession with Charlie Kirk. Chilling wrote he had perfect plan to take out the conservative icon. Tyler Robinson had a rabid obsession with Charlie Kirk and vowed to take out the conservative influencer because he hated his views, boasting he had the perfect murder plan, the FBI revealed Monday. Quote, I think it's pretty clear based on the statements of family members, friends, and some of the messaging we have on these digital footprints left behind that Robinson clearly had some obsession with Charlie Kirk. I mean, just pointed out, that's not like hey, he kind of went an assassin, and he definitely had an obsession with the guy. Charlie Kirk is obviously a conservative commentator, Bongino said. I think it's fairly obvious to everyone out there, and there's no need to parse words with it, that clearly this was an ideological, motivated attack. FBI Director Kash Patel told Fox earlier in the day that Robinson, 22, had even told someone about his heinous plot before he fatally shot Kirk at the age of 31 with the single bullet to the neck in an appearance at Utah Valley University on Wednesday. Also, there were Twitter accounts out there that were tweeting about these kind of things. Like, you have to take these tweets, I would say, pretty seriously at this point. You would have to definitely crack down and investigate that. He had a text message exchange with another individual in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie Kirk stood for. Absolutely insane person. Absolutely deranged human being. He thought Charlie Kirk simply disagreeing with him or his lifestyle just meant that he hated him. I hate these people. I truly do. I hate people like this. Like, how could you live in a world where every single thing that you were told and talked to, in any conversation you were in, that if someone didn't agree with you at anything, that they just hated you? Hey, I like apples. Well, I like oranges more. You hate me. No, I must kill you. You're insane. You're deranged. You need to be in a psych ward. Honestly, if you're asking, I can't say anything on YouTube. Fuck. I'll just have to kind of
MSK.
make my words. Drop them.
You're going back to this super oversimplification of it, though. Like, it's a little bit more than that. He did think that they didn't respect his lifestyle, and that he thinks that Charlie Kirk would have him put to death based off of biblical law. But there was no threat of this. But it's a little bit different than I like oranges, you like apples, man.
No, but like,
not justified.
Well, simply just disagreeing with someone like that shouldn't result in public assassination. That's how unhinged these people are. It wasn't clear when the seething suspect sent the text, but the accused killer, a furry, good lord. Okay. But the accused killer, a furry-obsessed trade school student with a transitioning male to female partner.
Has that part been
I don't know.
Confirmed. This is the first time I've heard furry.
I have heard he was into furries. I don't know if he was a furry.
None of that is surprising. I'm just pointing out, this wouldn't be surprising at all. These people are delusional.
Well, the picture of his gay lover or whatever he is.
Or you're gonna get to him.
He's wearing a furry outfit.
Oh God.
Yeah, the furry thing's a red flag. I'm just saying.
Just the furry thing's a red flag immediately.
That one alone, yeah. I mean.
Dude, you have no idea how weird these people are, man. I unfortunately I see them all the time, like at Comic-Con and
right.
Even at Comic-Con, they are like the ones you stay away from. You know what I mean? Like even at Comic-Con, they're the standout weirdos.
Yeah, they don't shower. They for sure don't shower. These motherfuckers stink. Oh my God.
Yeah, because they're in those costumes all day.
And then the other thing that we're going to get to here is when people keep saying, but he was raised Republican. Guys, when your parents raise you, don't even lie to me. You be disingenuous as fuck. At some point in your life, you defected away from what your parents told you and talked to you
rebel.
About. Yeah, it's every...
Well, and it's not just Republican. It's Mormon Republican. Like, this kid was... he's rebelling against a lot there. But a lot of that whole Mormon thing is
I was just pointing out that like people said, but he was raised Republican conservative, so that must mean that doesn't mean shit. That don't mean nothing. There's people that are raised Democrat, turn Republican, there's vice versa. And there's people
who are raised Christian who turn out to be atheists.
Yeah, like I don't know where people getting that in their head that because you're raised something that means that when you become a logical thinking adult, that means you just stay that way. That's literally, I mean, some people are like that. A lot of people aren't. I don't know how that was relevant to the conversation, but I want to bring that point up because a lot of people have been clearly being retarded on that. Suggested the same murderous thought later on a physical note. Patel said the FBI chief did not identify who the other person was or say if there would be potential charges against them for not coming forward earlier. Quote, the written note we believe did exist, and we have evidence to show what was in that note, Patel said. So then after that, because there's been this huge shitstorm of Discord. So apparently this guy he was in a Discord server or group chat, and then that was earlier rumored when this all first came out. And then TMZ had an exclusive with Discord where basically they say this exclusive. Discord says Teller Robinson didn't use platform in Charlie Kirk murder plan. I mean, did they just investigate themselves and found no wrongdoing? That's pretty much what it sounds like. I mean, then again, it would be pretty bad publicity if Discord of all places was like the place where this guy, an assassin, was using their platform to talk about all this stuff. Keep in mind, like Aspen Gold had this tweet too that got a lot of traction. Where you look on any like Blue Sky, Reddit, Discord servers, there's a bunch of people just actively wanting people that they ideologically hate to be assassinated, murdered. Like literally after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, people on Blue Sky were like, J.K. Rowling next.
Yeah.
Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, all the ones that disagree with them. So that's where at this point now. If you disagree with Looney Tune lifestyle, you just don't like it or you don't care for it, or you think they're just crazy, it's not about disagreeing anymore. They want you dead. They want you on the fucking ground, dead.
I don't know, man. A lot of that comes with celebrity, though. There's a lot of lefties who also get a lot of death threats. Like, it's weird, but if you're put in the public eye, there's a lot of interesting lenses that'll kind of be put on you, and sometimes it magnifies the creepiest out there, and they kind of, give you fun threats. But yeah, sorry, you'd mentioned the religious thing. Like, what does that have to do with it? I think the family was still pretty involved in the church that he grew up in, and I think the second guy who got him to confess was like a youth pastor.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because people in the family, so there was many things that came out. So the first one was the fact of, they had said this guy in his sophomore year was already kind of turning away from the Christian Republican values he was raised on. Like, he was espousing anti-Christian, anti-conservative, viewpoints and stuff. And he said by the time he had gotten,
depending on who you're talking to,
that's what the family friend had said. That's what the friend.
I was gonna say, it depends whether you classify Mormons as Christians or not.
Yeah, right.
They do believe in a third gospel that apparently a lot call blasphemy. But fair enough. If you're calling it that, yeah, I don't know, man. I know out of all of the Mormons that I know, all of them are like ex-Mormon. It seems very. A lot of people are leaving that religion, I would say. So that's not that out of the ordinary that someone like in their teens would actually leave that.
And they had said at a family dinner with the Looney Tune boyfriend that person was already moving away from all of these Christian or Mormon conservative values that they grew up with. It's like, I mean, was it because this person was sitting in a Discord all day? I'll be honest here, I really don't know. But at this point now, even if you're raised a certain way, that doesn't stop you from turning out a certain way, right? I should probably add this in the video too. This is very important here before we get to that last thing. So, Discord accused of a cover-up for allegedly lying about Tyler Robinson's use of their platform in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Discord claims they found no evidence that Robinson promoted violence on their platform. A new report by the Washington Post, however, claims Robinson admitted to murdering Kirk on Discord. Quote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all." Yeah, just bad news, you fucking disgusting piece of shit. "It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." The message read, according to Washington Post.
Yeah.
Quote,
"Did you see these kind of broken down?" So apparently one of his friends on Discord saw the picture and was like, "Hey, that looks like you." And then his response to that was like, "Hey guys, from what I understand." So I don't know. Like, from what I understand, a lot of people are kind of spending that as he was trying to, use sarcasm to be like, "Yeah, it was totally me." So to throw them off, which I don't know. Wasn't Discord's initial claim just that he didn't use it to plan it? Like,
they had
no
claimed
shit.
that
There's no maps on Discord or anything like that.
Well, they claimed that he didn't use their platform at all. That means they're saying definitively he wasn't on the platform spouting. What do they say? Yeah, didn't use the platform in Charlie Kirk's murder plan. So they're not denying he had an account there. They're saying he didn't use a platform to formulate a murder plan.
Like, no shit. Like, did he plan it with anyone else? From what I understood, he planned it himself, but I guess we don't know all the details.
Fine. "I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you for everything." Discord says their own investigation found no evidence that the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord. Criminal, if true. Of course, Discord isn't going to come out and say it. Of course they're not. That's not going to happen. But I just find it odd. So this was another interview that came out shortly after this all happened, where there was a family. I think there was a friend of the family, or a high school friend of the Robinson dude that killed Charlie Kirk, and he had told this to this lady. Suspect's high school friend says Robinson was the only leftist in a family of very hard Republicans. In a phone interview on Friday, one of Tyler Robinson's high school friends, who asked to remain anonymous, said that the suspect was pretty left on everything and was the only member of his family that was really leftist. Quote, "The rest of his family was very hard Republican," the friend said. Around sophomore year, the friend said Robinson became more extreme in his political views and would always just be ranting and arguing about them. The friend said that they played video games together a lot in high school and noted that the bullet engraving with the arrows was a reference to Helldivers 2, which we mentioned earlier. He said that the arrows specifically were in reference to calling in a big bomb that exists in the game called the 500 kilogram. When the friend saw the news on Friday, he said that he was shocked. Quote, "I knew Robinson, had strong political views, but I never thought it would even go near that far." Just there was a family dinner with this Looney Tune boyfriend he was apparently living in. So this is about that Looney Tune boyfriend he had. I think it was this one. Good Lord. So many goddamn ads. Looney Tune boyfriend of alleged Charlie Kirk assassin, Tyler Robinson, quote, hates Christians and conservatives, relative. The transgender boyfriend of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, hates conservatives and Christians, according to a relative, Lance Twiggs. What a name for a Looney Tune. Lance Twiggs. All right. What a name. Fuck me in the ass. Okay, I'm not Diddy. I'm not R. Kelly. Whom authorities have confirmed was in a romantic relationship with Robinson and is
MSK.
Transitioning. Go ahead.
Are you really talking shit on that name where I'm guessing Lance Twiggs didn't get to choose his name? You chose Master Schwag King, the top G, the Riz Master, whatever you're calling yourself.
But that's based as fuck right there. People know my legendariness through that name. If I called myself like Dirty Monkey that eats banana, would you not find that funny?
I wouldn't, but I don't have that lowbrow sense of humor that you enjoy. I don't know. Maybe your brand of humor it's not for me. But I don't know. I just have to think.
Twigs. What a fucking fruitcake.
Well, I'm guessing that's his dead name. He was probably going to choose something cooler.
Yeah, he was going to turn himself into Bruce Jenner. Shit. Fuck me. Oh, God. Lance Twiggs, whom authorities have confirmed was in a romantic relationship with Robinson and is transitioning from male to female, which you can't do, began to act differently when he turned 18, developing animosity for his family and for the conservative values he was brought up with. A relative told Fox News Digital he hates conservatives and Christians. The relative, who asked to remain anonymous, said, go further down, sorry about that. He hated us. He was not raised that way, but he, over the years, has become really detached and been radicalized. She added, he has obviously gotten progressively worse the last year or two. She said Twiggs now seems always very angry. Yeah, I imagine when you just take random hormones that are for women, I imagine that's going to make you feel differently. Twiggs is cooperating with authorities and has not been charged or accused of wrongdoing, according to the FBI and Utah officials. The relative said that Twiggs and Robinson were both heavily influenced by the online gamer communities that they were a part of. Which is weird now, because, we always were told that video games didn't cause this level of violence. I'll be completely honest here. I don't think video games did that at all. I think the people in the gaming Discord servers did that. I don't think playing Helldivers 2 randomly just made this guy want to go assassinate somebody. I think it's a little disrespectful to be like, but he played Helldivers 2. That's what No. Playing a video game does not make someone like that. It's statistically proven. Studies have shown that doesn't make that happen. He was radicalized by other people in that same server or group chat or whoever he knew, honestly. That's what happened. No one video game did that. I think Tyler got a whole lot worse in the year they have been dating. They are big gamers, and obviously they have that group that influences them as well as others, she said. She added, everybody in my family wants justice to be served and wants no part in this and wants whoever is involved in whatever way to have to pay for that. According to public records, Twiggs lived with Robinson at the same $1,800 per month St. George, Utah address townhouse. A relative previously confirmed to the Post that they were roommates. The family member who asked not to be identified said Twiggs was the black sheep of their family. Kirk, 31, was murdered on September 10th at Utah Valley University on the first stop of his American Comeback Tour college speaking engagement. He was struck in the neck by a single bullet shortly after being posed a question about Looney Tune mass shooters. The FBI told Fox News that the roommate has been extremely cooperative in the investigation and claimed he had no idea about Robinson's alleged assassination plans. I don't believe that in the slightest, honestly. I think this person just lying. This person is lying about what fucking gender they're born, so I wouldn't trust what the person says at all, honestly. That's my opinion. Now, that's everything that we know up till now. Now, this is the thing that Verbal Riot said earlier. I'll be honest here. When they first caught this guy, I just couldn't believe he actually did it. Didn't look like the guy that could do it. But, that 200-yard shot, apparently a lot of people in the Army know how to do that too. So it's something that you could learn how to do with enough time. But the fact that, let's say he's the killer or not the killer. The fact that someone hated someone so much they plan to do that is just, we're getting to a really insane timeline here. You know, all this was planned, and this person hated Charlie Kirk so much that he wanted to take him away because he had a different opinion on Looney Tunes. Really, you're going to spend your entire life in prison assassinating someone because they just had a disagreement on you, right? I hope people understand why I'm saying this. Being a racist and someone that doesn't like Looney Tunes is not the same. You cannot control the race you're born. You cannot. It's not something you can control unless you're Michael Jackson and he's turned to be white later on. Jokes aside, if someone doesn't like gay people or Tunes or Looney Tunes, that's fine. You don't have to like them. There's no rule, despite what the media is telling you, to love these people. I'm not saying I don't. I'm fine with gay people. I'm fine with bi people. I'm fine with lesbians. But there's no rule.
You're trying to make like a logical or rational reason behind some very irrational behavior. Like, clearly this dude has something else wrong with him, but he seems to be taking it more than just, this person doesn't like me. He seems to think that there's some sort of existential threat,
right.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And he seems to be very wrong and probably paranoid about it.
And that, for me, that goes back to what I said about the media, right? The media for the past, 5 years or more have been basically pushing this narrative, right? Pushing this narrative that words are dangerous, that words are violence against these people, right? They use words like, Hitler. They use words like
Nazi,
Yahtzee. They use all these words to define people and kind of strip them of their humanity, so that you're not looking at these people as people anymore. You're not seeing a father, a husband, a son. You're seeing, the enemy. You're seeing the enemy, right? Because the media is telling you that these people are not human, right? They are just the enemy. So when someone does something crazy like this, in their mind, they don't look at it like they're killing a person, but they're getting rid of somebody dangerous to them.
Well, it's 2 points that I'll bring up.
So and I'm sure it's not a healthy mind that got that message too.
Absolutely not. It never is.
Major wrong with this guy.
And I'll just say 2 things. So I'll add to Grace's point first, and I'll go with verbal riot. So Grace's point, I'll add to that, which is, it's because I would say the media and a lot of people use this word like empathy. I have to be empathetic and all that shit. You should have, in my opinion, well-placed empathy based off of the circumstance. Their thing is universal empathy and validation, right? So if you just said, hey, I just don't really think that there's more than 2 genders, right? They think you should just be empathetic and validate other people's feelings because you want to make them feel comfortable. There's no rule that says you have to do that, and you are not a hateful person for thinking otherwise. There's no rule that says you have to like these people, but the narrative from them is constantly just love everyone and accept them. No, because when you start doing that, you start blurring the lines to a bunch of bullshit. If they just told you one day, the media says, oh, well, just start loving PDFs. Are you going to do it because they said it's empathetic and you don't validate them? No, you wouldn't, because that would be fucking retarded. I hate this line of thinking people have. In my opinion, I think you should be common courteous to people. I think you should be respectful, but not like respect is a 2-way street. I think you should be respectful. I think you should have manners and all that shit. But I don't think in any way, shape, or form, you should have random empathy for people that are delusional. And nowhere should you be vilified for not validating
MSK.
Stupid shit.
Call yourself Top G and Rizmaster. I have empathy for your delusions, sir. I believe you're a human, and you're capable of rational thought. But what can I say? I think you're a fellow human. I think that's all that they're asking to be seen as. But maybe I'm wrong. I think it's a little too soon to say like it's this thing of not accepting me. Like, it seems like it's probably going to go that route.
That I see constantly.
What if it's the same thing as like Son of Sam, like the neighbor's dog was talking to him? Like, I really don't know how crazy this dude is at this point. We don't have a manifesto.
I'm just talking about
everyone's kind of going off of shit.
Oh no, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm saying these are just prevailing narratives that constantly have been said over many, many years. And then for Verbal Rise point, the one I can go off of, which is when these people are told that someone's Hitler, a Nazi, or a fascist, year in, day after day, 7 days a week.
I hear you, but we've all heard that same message, and we're not out there doing something horrendous about it. Yeah. Clearly, this dude was not well to begin with, and then he got that message over and over again.
No, but we
I can almost guarantee you're right. Like, that is the progression of this, but I don't know, man. I think it's still a little bit too soon to say that it's, again,
no, I was going to say, it's not
you
that.
like oranges, he likes apples, and he thinks that you have to accept it.
Well, I like bananas.
I don't know, man.
Hold on,
I know you do.
Okay.
You're way into bananas and kiwis. I've heard.
So the thing I was going to bring up, which is Nazis are probably, arguably, top 5 worst people in a lot of people's brains ever in human history, right? Which is crazy because the Aztecs were doing some real fucked up shit in life, you know? Nazis are considered some of the worst people ever. So when you're constantly told, hey, this person's a Yahtzee or Nazi or whatever, and when they take that person out, they don't feel like it's bad because in their mind, they're taking out some of the evil Nazi in their head. This is why calling people fascists and everything like that is horrible, because now people feel like if they were to do that, like, people don't feel like they need to be feeling bad for Charlie Kirk because, he was a Nazi, so he had it coming to him. That's insane. I'll ask you guys who like Charlie Kirk out there, who disliked him too. What Nazi fascist allowed people who disagreed with him to come up to his microphone at a college event, because he allowed adults to come up from the neighborhood? What fascist Nazi allowed disagreement and open conversation? Not even, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. No Nazi fascist would do that. Okay, like this notion that if you call someone a Nazi, that means that it's going to do anything anymore is nonsense too. Also, if you ask these people what Nazi, fascist, all these words even meant, they couldn't tell you. It basically, it's like that word grifter now. Anyone that I disagree with is now an insert grifter Nazi buzzword there. Like, this is how stupid and dumbed down conversation and logic goes with these people. And I just can't do it anymore. If you truly, not you guys, but if you truly think that, you're a fucking retard. That's just disagreement must mean I need to assassinate someone. Literally go put yourself in a psych ward. Actually, in my opinion, you should be dropped on Snake Island. I mean, I think they should publicly execute this guy, drop him upside down off the Empire State Building. That's my opinion. If we don't ever get rid of these people,
Utah does have the death penalty. He might be executed.
Extract all the information first, then use him. Also, this crazy thing that, I mean, I would hope at some point they put that guy next to his wife and have him look her in the eyes and ask him why he did it. Because, I'm not saying he would tell the truth, but peace of mind may be better, because if they off this guy with the death penalty, right, then she'll never get a chance to know why he did it. Keep in mind, I'm clarifying, he might lie when he does this, but, he should have to look her in the face and tell her why he did it. But I don't know. I just hate where all this has come down to. But, I like Charlie Kirk, and it doesn't even feel like he's gone. I still can't even wrap my head around he got assassinated like this, I liked watching the guy's debates. I liked watching the speeches he gave in those college campuses and the auditoriums that he would go to. The live show, I have to watch more of. I would catch it every now and again. People said he was feeling a lot of pressure from the Israel donors and all that other stuff, but that's a different conversation from another day. But I'll ask you, Gray, to round off this video, what is your thoughts and opinions currently on everything we know about this assassin and Charlie Kirk and everything?
I don't want to agree with you, just out of principle mostly. But I don't know. Sadly, I think you might be correct. I just think it's a little bit too soon to say on some of these things. It sounds like everyone's confirming that, yes, he did have a transgender boyfriend, live-in partner. So I'm guessing that has a lot to do with this. But I would not... I wouldn't rule out mental illness. Like, obviously, this isn't a mentally well person, but I don't know that it's necessarily the internet that sent them a weird way, as opposed to this is a crazy fucking person who thought that was the solution to this. So I don't know, man. I'm just reserving a little bit of judgment, but clearly what this person did is awful, and in no way could anybody ever voicing any opinion, no matter how vile you think it is, justify you taking physical violence against them. I don't know, man. I don't get it.
Also, yeah, I think people are focusing too much on the boyfriend. It shouldn't be a shocker to anybody that guy has a Looney Tune boyfriend. I wasn't shocked when I read that. You guys shocked when you read that? I wasn't shocked. I'm like, that's pretty par for the course. I was not shocked when I read that.
I was shocked, man. There's not many trans people in Utah. Like, I was not expecting that. Well, fair enough. But and then you also said
you're out there searching for him.
No, you also said this didn't seem like the person that could do it, and it's like I don't know, man. By the time, so this is the third person that they kind of said did it. That first person that it showed is like there is no way that guy did it.
I knew. I didn't think that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. When I finally saw the picture of this, it's like, yeah, I could see that guy scaling a roof and doing something like it's just a rifle, like it is kind of an equalizer. So I don't know. I think we do have the guy. Like all the pictures seem to line up, but man, I do want more information on this. So I really hope he starts talking. But I think the first hearing or whatever is Tuesday. So hopefully we start getting more information soon.
It's just crazy to me that all of this has ended up happening, and I mean it's just so disgusting to see all these people celebrating someone getting publicly assassinated. You guys saw that video, right, of those two little white girls and the mother? That one, I couldn't watch that. That's fucking disgusting. Absolutely gross the way she was grooming her children to be this way.
Yeah, that was wild.
That one, I'm just like, I already have the Charlie Kirk one in my brain. I don't need that. I just didn't even bother with that. I'm just like, what a horrible mother. What the fuck are we doing? But Riot, what is your thoughts and opinions on everything that's been going on from Charlie Kirk's assassination to what we know now?
I feel like we have a lot more to learn, man. I number one, I don't think this was a one-man operation.
Oh,
I think more people were involved, and I think we're going to find that out pretty soon. I don't necessarily think, regardless to what happens with this killer or alleged killer, I don't. It's not going to change anything though. Like as far as it's not going to move the needle as far as how relations between both sides are going to be, right? Like it's not going to be like, oh, we got the killer, now we can all just kind of settle down and decompress. I feel like almost the opposite. I feel like things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. And that's not me being hyperbolic. I just know humans too well. Most humans are trash pandas. So we don't know how to get along. We don't know how to have civil conversation. I think there's too many people on both sides right now, honestly, that want to keep this going, if that makes sense, right? Like I think there's people who are just, and then you have people who don't care about either side, but just they're agents of chaos, right? So they want to keep things going. I think the media wants to keep it going because that's more news for them. That's more clicks for them. Politicians want to keep this going because then people will continue to vote their side, regardless of who's running. I think there's too much vested interest in keeping us fighting. That none of this is really going to mean anything. Like right now, we're all like, oh, poor Charlie, poor Charlie. In about a month, we're going to move on to something else.
I mean, people forgot that Donald Trump was almost assassinated less than 6 months ago, which is insane.
People, I hardly hear about that anymore, right? And it could be because he lived,
Yeah, I mean, if he actually died, the conversation would be way different, obviously. Sure. Yeah.
But I just think, and don't get me wrong, I don't think no one's going to forget about Charlie Kirk. Nobody. But my point is that when I say we're going to move on to something else, there's going to be another event that's going to take our attention away, right? And I don't know. I don't want to say I'm black-pilled, but
well, that would be a no pun intended. You're black-pilled while being black,
right? Like but I think I might be a little black-pilled at this point.
So my thing that I've came to this conclusion when we've been doing these episodes on the MSK show, and you guys are seeing the video now. I'm saying this because this is going to be a video that I'm going to release to you guys. And if you guys did watch this all the way through, then thank you so much. I know you guys will. I agree with JD Vance, and I've said this too on the previous episodes. Coming together with people who want you dead over disagreements is so fucking retarded. I don't even know how to put that into words. Imagine this, they're dead to you. You need to essentially convince people and show them new people that is not how you should be. In a lot of different ways. I'm not going to go over all that because that would just be another tangent, right? So I just think this notion that we have to unite with people that like want us quote unquote dead for different opinions is stupid. That is actually the dumbest shit ever. These people can't even take disagreements if you just said there's not two genders and they actually think it's cool that someone dies because of their words. Why in the world would you want to unite with these people? That's so deranged. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm not saying both sides don't have their laundry list of shit they've done. I think both sides are very much you can blame for a lot of things. But this idea that we're gonna unite with people that want us dead over opinions is I'm not doing it. I know that's not gonna happen. That is far beyond the most dumbest thing I ever read on the internet. Or yeah, let's just kind of be friends with people that want us dead over different opinions. These people want you dead over different opinions on like reality. Like that means if you were to be friends with people, you could disagree with them on like food. And they would go and say, no, I don't want that person around me. You need to essentially convince the next generation, like what Charlie did, that you could be brainwashed by your university or your public school or your parents based off of how you're raised. Because people forget why Charlie Kirk got that audience he did. He didn't talk down to the younger voters. He called them, he didn't call them just college kids. He called them, hey, I'm talking to voters who will impact the future of this country. You need to convince the next generation like Charlie did. That's how you become impactful. That's how you change things. Trying to convince these crazy people now who have already been radicalized by the media is useless. It's fucking worthless. He knew that. That's why he became popular as he did. Just also the very last thing is, anybody celebrating this death that works in like the public sphere, like you're a daycare worker, doctor, anything like that. No, you fuck off, get fired. Fuck you. Like it's disgusting. That's embarrassing too. You want to cry on TikTok. Oh, I lost my job. You told me these companies are private and they can do whatever they want. So just, when the shoe's on the other foot now you get fucked. I always said you shouldn't get fired over words. I said, whatever you say, you shouldn't get fired. But no, private company. Yeah, go fuck off. So yeah, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Awesome guy. You did not deserve to be assassinated, but your word will live on. Hopefully things can get better in the world after this point. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to be signing out, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye. Peace. Wow. Verbal Riot is now black-pilled for being black.
Yeah, I know, right? It's hard not to be, man.
Crazy. Oh, were you here when? Yeah. What did you think about Superman? I don't think you were here when we were talking about that movie. No, you weren't. Yeah, you missed those weeks.
Oh, what's, man, it was fine. Like I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was enjoyable. Like there were some parts that took me out of it. There were some parts that I really liked a lot. I mean, I like James Gunn as a director. I kind of trust his vision, although it's kind of weird the slate of movies he has coming up now, but I'm like, okay, but I'll go with it. Like Clayface, I'm like, are we really doing a Clayface movie before we get like a Wonder Woman or anything?
It's gonna be so cheap and like I don't know. I'm super into body horror and I love Clayface, so I'm all about it, but I understand like it's obviously not going to be a commercial huge success.
Like we're getting a Clayface before Batman.
That's what I said too. Like a Clayface movie before a Bat. That's crazy, right? Like there better be demand for
Silhouette and Creature Commandos. He exists.
And then like Clayface doesn't even take place in Gotham.
This is the kind of craziness. Like, hey, I shit on Zack Snyder when he did these things. I have to shit on James Gunn for these. Like, literally, a Clayface movie is before a Batman movie. Why not just wait and do the Batman movie, then do a Clayface spinoff if there's demand for it? I get it. They introduced him in Creature Commandos. I get it, but they're thinking the Superman momentum will translate into Supergirl. It's like, that's not how movies don't work that way anymore. It's like, well, it's guaranteed going to do this. No. It's always going to be a coin flip.
Yeah, I was really surprised that Supergirl was the next movie. I was like, wow. Like, I thought for sure it would have been like Wonder Woman.
So, yeah, I agree. Like, why wouldn't you go with one of the big three even?
Right. Like that was weird to me, man.
I kind of get it. Like from talking to my wife and a few other people, they had some questions, and mainly it was like the Krypton thing. Yeah, MSK. So anyway, that's going to get answered in the Supergirl thing, and I don't know if you're familiar with the run that they're going to do with this, but
the Woman of Tomorrow,
kind of an awesome run. It's one of my favorite ones, and I'm generally not a huge fan of Supergirl. So
but I'm wondering how closely they're going to stick to that story. You know what I mean?
I'm guessing not too closely. Like
because Lobo's was in the movie,
mm-hmm.
And he's not in the story.
Superman is the first movie is any kind of sign of what he's doing. He seems to be picking little bits from here and there. So I'm assuming not like super faithful.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. So I think honestly I think it's only Women of Tomorrow in name only. I don't know how far they're going to stick to that
stick
story.
with some of it.
Well,
there's some amazing things in there, and
well,
just that
trauma.
trauma.
Superman movie too, right? With the Superman movie, we were told it was based off of All-Star Superman. If anyone's read just a little bit of All-Star Superman, you know that movie was nothing based on All-Star Superman.
That was nothing like All-Star Superman.
I don't know why he lied. James Gunn, he lied when he said that movie was based off that book.
No,
that's
it was not even close.
Not even close. I mean, unless you want to use the basic, it had Superman and it's like, no, fuck off, shut up.
No, that was not All-Star Superman at all.
They even have the main villain from that book.
Grant Morrison is one of my favorite writers, comic writers of all time. Like, there's no way.
It's so weird that he was credited with like Mark Waid and everyone in the credits. Like, but I love Grant Morrison, but goddamn, why is he credited for on a Superman movie where his work is not even close?
It's not even represented at all.
And I get it. James Gunn likes Grant Morrison. I'm not saying he doesn't have his. Every comic book fan has their biases to the writers, but like let's not be giving comic book writers that kind of credit when your movie doesn't reflect that. Like he straight up said, my Superman movie is going to be based off the Grant Morrison All-Star Superman run. That's pretty specific, you know? So when it says like Woman of Tomorrow, it's like how much is going to be based on the book? It's like these people don't even like the source material, as we know.
Yeah, that's weird to me, man. I like Gunn. I trust his vision. I hope he knows what he's doing. That's all I can say.
For sure.
But believe it or not, I am looking very forward to Supergirl. I think it's going to be way better than people think it's going to be. Because I see a lot of naysayers out there who, they didn't like the way she was represented in Superman when she was drunk. And I'm like, you know what, guys? I kind of like it. I kind of like a hot mess Supergirl. Right?
You love your women? That's how you like your women? Hot mess?
I'll tell you why, though. Because we already have Clark Kent. Right? We already have Superman Clark Kent. We don't need a female Clark Kent. So I like the fact that she's a little bit of a mess. And I kind of like that.
Yeah. Plus, she's seen some shit. She was like a teen on Krypton. So
right.
I don't know,
man.
She has trauma. She's been through a couple things. Yeah.
Yeah, she has like real trauma. And no, honestly, I'm actually really looking forward to Supergirl.
Well, I hope it does what I think it's going to do. But I think it's going to answer a lot of those questions for kind of I don't know if I'd call them casuals, but they wanted more of the Krypton backstory. I think they're going to get a lot of that satisfaction here.
Oh yeah. Like I think this movie's going to be a lot more bigger in scope than Superman was.
I think it'll make more money than Superman. I don't think so. I just don't see it.
I don't know, man. I think that. Okay, here's the thing. I'll tell you why I don't know. Number one, Millie Adcock, guys like her, right? Lobo being played by Jason Momoa, women like him. They'll go watch Jason Momoa. So it could actually do way better than Superman.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to bring up is, Melissa Benoist, who portrayed Supergirl on the CW show, that was her major criticism of being Supergirl. But outside of that, other things problems the show did, they felt like her character was a female Clark Kent. Then I'm glad we don't have that. I mean, from the comic book, Supergirl is a much more different character than Clark, and it makes perfect sense. Like I like that she was fundamentally as a character way different than Clark. So and people gotta understand. Like, I hate when people do that. Not you guys, but I hate when people do the analyzing thing on certain things like her. It's like I don't think James Gunn truly thought anything deep with her. He just wanted to introduce her for shock value and a cameo. That's it. I don't think there was any other thought and logic to it. I think it was like, hey, here's his cousin. Get ready for Supergirl. That's it. There is no people are like, oh my god, but she's drunk and all that stuff. It doesn't really have any impact. It was all just for shock value. There was no actual substance there. It was just supposed to be a giggle, like, hey, she called him a bitch. Well, yeah, a lot of women are like that. Like girls you guys date are like that. That's a reflection of the girls you date. So if you didn't like that in that character who's acting, gee,
MSK.
I don't know why you tolerate that.
Again, reading way too much into this.
I think Riot agrees.
Nobody has ever agreed that you're a genius.
No
test either.
No,
but
do you not see the irony in that, dude? You don't see the irony in that?
I think there is no irony. I don't think you understand what the word irony means.
Oh god,
MSK. So in that first Superman movie, yes, all it is kind of a joke. But there's a bunch of questions that a bunch of people have had, like, well, what happened on Krypton? Like, is that actually what they're doing? What are they going to do with, essentially
build suspense for the next movie. That's all it really was.
But was Jor-El a bad guy? Like they want to know a bunch of this stuff, and I think we're gonna get everything answered in the next one. I don't think it is just a throwaway joke like you're saying. I think it is set up.
Did you see
and
those James Gunn's interview about the Jor-El thing? I think he's pretty for sure he's leaving it there. I mean, it's wishful thinking that it's going to get retconned, but I just don't think it is.
I don't think it's going to get retconned.
I don't think so either.
Gunn is, no pun intended, going to stick to his guns on this.
And I think he should, at least for now. At least show us what you can do before you start changing.
Because I know a lot of people had a problem with that. They had a lot of problems with that.
Oh, I think I meant to say ironic. It's ironic. Sorry. I think it's pretty ironic that dudes didn't like her portrayal of Supergirl in that little small cameo because they felt like she was a piece of shit, but then will defend girls with that exact same personality to the death and simp for them and send them hundreds of dollars on OnlyFans. I'm just pointing out that's pretty ironic. You guys didn't like her doing that, but in your real life, you would support women that do that. I'm just pointing out it's ironic. I'm just pointing out.
I think you're the only one here who pays, monthly stipends.
It's not true. I have sex with a lot of women.
Your mom.
Anyway, guys, I gotta go.
We're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna wrap it up here anyway. I have to go get some stuff done. I have to go have sex with my wife and a bunch of stuff, as you know.
Sure.
So we'll start with Grey Poupée. Do you have anything planned coming up that you would like to let the audience know about?
I'm over on Laps channel. Perhaps some call it the better channel. It's the last panel. So if you get a chance, he does a pop culture stream there once a week. It's fun. Come on over and check that out. Other than that, new content soon. That's about all I got going on. What about you, Verbal Ryan? What you got going on, sir?
Oh man, this week. So I will be guesting on George the Giant Slayer Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. PST. I'll also be with Nina Infinity that same day at 5. So I'm doing a double for that. And then Thursday, my own show, VRL 6 p.m. PST, where against my better judgment, I am going to be talking a little bit more about the Charlie Kirk thing. I really don't want to focus on it too much, but I feel like I need to say something. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah. As you guys know, for me, Tuesday, I am going to be doing another episode of the Spectacular MSK. It's a series. It's a live streamed, series that I do on my comic book YouTube channel that I do on Tuesdays every week around 4:30 p.m. PST. We're going to be on episode 5 this week because, I'm pushing myself to get it up to 6 episodes. So that way, when you look at the channel's layout, it has the full, layout full of the episodes from the Spectacular MSK. Next week we'll be on episode 6. So it's going to end up looking like the way I want it to. So yeah, come and see me tomorrow on my comic book YouTube channel, Master Swag King Comics and Manga, where I will be doing episode 5 of the Spectacular MSK, going over the new comic books coming out, omnibuses, epic collections, manga, hardcovers, all that stuff. The Cloud9 podcast also is tomorrow with Mr. Blanks at 8 p.m. PST. Wednesday, I'm going to be honest with you guys. You guys have expected an MSK show that day. I might be going out of town, but I'll be back the same day. I'll probably be going out of town Wednesday after work. I'm going to be going to Frankensons with some friends. So if I do stream, which I have it set up that way, I'll probably do a late night League of Legends stream when I get back. If I'm too tired, then I won't do it. That's why I did an extra episode of the MSK show with Professor Savage Dad on Sunday. That way, if it comes out that I can't do the episode of the MSK show on Wednesday, you guys have gotten the extra episode. So Tuesday, Spectacular MSK, Cloud9 podcast. Wednesday, question mark if we're going to have a show. Probably not. I'll let you guys know. Thursday, League of Legends, late night game stream. Friday, MSK show with Lunchbox Warren. And then Saturday, MSK show with Laps Comic Fan. So yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK show.